Good day to you, ladies and gentlemen. Today I'm going to be doing a video, a kind of review, my thoughts on video, on Madhouse's latest anime masterpiece, which is Redline. Now I'm going to assume not many of you have actually heard of Redline, since it seems to have come out of nowhere, but it has actually been in the making for 7 years. It was finally released in Japan last year, and it's released in Japan on DVD and Blu-ray in August, I believe. The UK release is in September, and I assume if it gets picked up in the US, the release will be sometime around those months as well. So if you haven't heard of Redline, here's a bit of info. It was produced by Madhouse. It's Takeshi Koike's debut feature. It's been in the making for 7 years, as I mentioned. There is second key animation from Gainax of Gurren Lagann and Evangelion fame, and it is a racing anime. But don't think Initial D, think more a cross between F-Zero and Wacky Races. I'll put a link to the official Redline channel in this video's description, and also a link to the longest trailer and possibly the best, so you can check that out before you continue with this video if you want. That'll give you an idea of what I'm talking about and maybe what you want to expect from this film. So anyway, let's get on with the review. First, let's tackle the story. Now, if you've seen a film about racing before, then you know how the plot in such a film tends to unfold. Essentially, it isn't so different in Redline. I mean, the film doesn't really defy convention. Basically, the film follows JP, who's a very hot-headed character. He's a racer, and he wants to enter this race called Redline, which is held every 5 years. And the film centers around JP, his participation in the race, and the characters around him. The story is quite straightforward, but the presentation is so larger than life. I mean, the race itself takes place on another land, another planet. A lot of the characters, most of the characters, are alien creatures. And although straightforward, the story is always interesting, always exhilarating, and very, very well paced. The action is, as you would imagine, fast, fantastic, and full of adrenaline, and the drama is cheesy, but it's the kind of cheese that puts a smile on your face. The story is presented very well, there's never really a dull moment, it always has your attention, and the crazy antics in the film make clear that it isn't to be taken too seriously. The story in Redline doesn't set out to challenge our minds, it doesn't set out to make us think too deeply, it just sets out to entertain us, and in that respect, it definitely delivers. Moving on to the art and animation now, and the tagline for Redline is "Witness the future of animation," and they weren't joking. As mentioned, Madhouse handled the production, with second key animation primarily from Gainax. And I have to say, the amount of detail and action on screen is so vast that you're going to want to give this film multiple viewings. Also, as mentioned, this is Takeshi Koike's debut feature, but not only did he serve as the director, but also the animation director, which just goes to show how much faith Madhouse had in the man, and for good reason. He doesn't just deliver, he delivers tenfold. The animation in Redline is, quite literally, mind-blowing. The film is full of colour, detail and beauty like no other. The art style is vigorous and unique, and the character designs are fresh, exuberant and interesting. And I would go as far as saying, this is animation at its best. And I would also give as much praise to the soundtrack, which is just fantastic. It mainly consists of various electronic tracks, and fits Redline's fast-paced visuals and cheesy drama extremely well. The sound editing is top-notch, and the ending song will leave a smile on your face. The voice acting also is superb, but then again I guess that's expected when you get some of the best Japanese actors in the business involved. Takuya Kimura, leading star of Love and Honor, part of Yoji Yamada's Oscar-nominated samurai trilogy, handles our main man JP, and our leading lady is voiced by none other than Yu Ai, an actress who has appeared in many award-winning Japanese films, 2 of which were directed by national treasure Shunji Iwai. And last but certainly not least, JP's partner Frisbee is voiced by none other than Tadanobu Asano, who is quite possibly one of the very best actors working in Japan today. He has been in films such as Ichi the Killer, The Taste of Tea, Survive Style 5, Takeshi Kitano's Zatoichi, just to name a few. And to quote anime journalist Helen McCarthy, who introduced Redline when I went to see it, casting him was a stroke of genius. Lastly, let's move on to the characters, who, like the story, do not really defy convention. They all very much fit into simple archetypes. You have the extremely cool but sometimes klutzy JP, along with the sexy love interest Sonoshi and the mysterious partner Frisbee. The characters don't particularly do anything new, they are not complex, and they don't need more than a paragraph of analysis, but that is besides the point. The characters, again like the story, are very much larger than life. JP and Sonoshi appear to be the only human characters in the film, and everyone else belongs to their own alien race. The story and the characters are very much two sides of the same coin. Like the story, the characters again aren't there to be complex, but they're there to entertain us. They are there to build the scale of the film and to do their job as the archetypes we know and love. The characters give the film its flavour, and they're incredibly fun and amazing to behold on screen. Now I'm going to finish this kind of review, my thoughts on video, by saying that Redline is a film not to be taken too seriously, and anyone doing so has certainly missed the point. Needless to say, if you want a realistic racing film, then you've come to the wrong place. However, if you want a fast, funny, eye-watering, explosive experience that will pump your enjoyment scales to the max and suck you into a world that words like amazing and vigorous cannot even begin to describe, then this is the film to do it. Also, I feel I shouldn't really end this video without first mentioning Tim's Redline review on Anime News Network. There is one paragraph in particular that really stood out to me, and I just have to mention it here. This is what he said. Somehow, without the audience realizing it, Koike has managed to make all of this chaos believable. Perhaps through the pure density of detail, or just knowing when to put in the reins slightly, he makes everything from the busy alien crowd scenes to the full throttle explosive race sequences seem like events in a real, tangible world. Exactly how he manages to pull this off is impossible to work out after just one viewing, and may never be revealed fully, but it does seem to hint that Redline is the work of a genuine genius. And really, that's all that needs to be said. I agree completely, and I remember when I first saw the film, well, I haven't seen the film more than once, but when I saw the film, I did not look away at all. My eyes were on the screen the whole time. Of course I had to blink, unfortunately, but that's how amazing Redline is. Redline is not just a film, Redline is an experience.